So good evening, everyone. I wanted to say a big thank you for everybody that watched my podcast last week, Monday. That was my first ever one. I was a little bit nervous, but I enjoyed doing it. I want to say thank you to everybody that reached out to me with all the good messages, the good vibes. I'm truly blessed and thank you. So today's my second one, and it's continuing about grief and where I am today after having counselling. And it's been good. It's I've been able to start to kind of deal with it a little bit more, understand it a little bit more, knowing there's a long way for me to go, absolutely long way for me to go, but I'm starting to deal with it, understanding little things like, he's not with us anymore. Things that happens that I look around at thinking, oh, he should be doing this. Like when I take my other boy to tennis, thinking, oh, his little brother should be running around, getting the balls today. So that kind of hit me. And like I said in my last one, next week is his anniversary, 3 years. So that is starting to play on my mind a lot. But I've had counselling this week, which was really good. I got to understand some more things. I got to kind of air out what I needed to, and it was good. You never forget. You're never gonna understand it, because I still struggle today. I'm still really struggling, and I think the question I keep asking myself is why? Why? I've got 3 amazing other beautiful boys, but why? And I think me and my wife ask that question all the time, but there's not an answer to it. It's God's plan. So I don't have an answer. I never will. I dig deep and look in, but nothing. And it's hard, because I said to a lot of people that I'm still trying to just get my head around it, and it's coming up to 3 years. And I can't get my head around it because I don't know. I still can't understand it. Even though I'm having counselling, it's hard. It's just putting things into perspective and making the right decisions. In my own mind, of the things I did right, wrong, to see where I go from here. And I know there's a long way to go. There's just, I know the counselling is going to take probably about a good year of having counselling, or probably more. I'm never going to forget him. You just don't. And that every tiny thing I do, I always think, oh, well, what about that? Oh, but what about this? And I just try my hardest to understand how to kind of live with it, because you end up just living with it, because there's nothing else you can do but just live with it. And like I said, a couple of people have reached out to me, which was really nice and comforting, with prayers, with, saying to me we didn't know, but it was something that we just kept as a family. Myself and my wife just, at the time, didn't feel we needed to tell everybody about it. It was a hard time. And as much as I struggled with it, I think I have to put a thingy about my wife struggling with it also, and probably not coming to terms with it, because it's harder. She carried the child for so long. So the feelings and everything else is different, and even to this day, she struggles with it as well. And I should have probably been there a little bit more, but I don't think I was there the way she needed me. So that starts to create a divide between you two. But you don't see it, because I guess if you don't deal with the grief together, and you try to do it separately and don't really talk about it, you then get that divide. And it's hard because 3 years on, things are coming out that I think I wasn't expecting, didn't think about, or don't even understand. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't look at it in that way, or I didn't think that way, because you just try to do certain things for your family at that point. But it's also understanding that as much as you got to be there for your boys, probably the most precious person that you need to be there for is your wife, because you are going through that together. And that bond has to be there, because if it's not there and you don't work together, you just there's that underlying ripple that is created and you don't even know it's there. Because I might think I'm doing something right, she might think she's doing this way, but communication is probably the biggest thing I want to say. It's the biggest key, because if you don't communicate together, it just becomes a mess. And like she said to me, and I probably said this last time, was a lot of people, marriages don't survive after losing a kid. They get divorced and go their separate way. And again, I just don't want to be that statistic, but it is what it is. So it's hard. I sit here saying it, and I just still playing it in my head now after having counseling. There's so many things I should have done better. I could have done better, but I just didn't. I thought what I was doing was right at that time. But looking at it right now, again, I didn't do them because I didn't know how to handle my grief, because there was no one to really, you don't really want to go to anyone. Like I said before, can't go to your boys and talk about it because they're just looking at you blankly. And if people haven't been through it, they don't know what to say. So it becomes they're just looking at you and trying to say the right things, but they're never going to get it, because that feeling inside, that loss inside, it's shattering. And you just don't understand it. And like I said, I'd never wish this on anyone, on my worst enemy. I'd never wish it on them, because it just grabs you and hits you in the heart. And there's some days you wake up and you think, oh, my little one should have been waking up and coming to say good morning and stuff. Or, just toddling along the house, trying to get down the stairs, and all these little things you think about all the time. And you look at pictures of your other kids, you think, oh, there's just that one that should be there. Like we've just had Christmas, and you coming up, you were thinking, he should have been here for Christmas, opening his presents. But he's not. And you just have to kind of understand and not put it at the back of your mind, but just don't overthink it, and just be grateful that little time that I had with him. I got to hold him for that time and just sit with him. It wasn't, it's just time that you're grateful for. And I think about that every day. And I wake up every morning, I look, his little ashes is next to my bedside. And every morning I wake up, I look at that and say morning. Because for me, it just feels like he's still here. He's next to me every day. I know, and I'm just I look at that and then I think, okay, let me start my day. But it's not the easiest thing to do. But you end up just going on, carrying on, and doing the best you can. because that's all you can ever do. Is be the best you can and be grateful for the kids that you have. And like I say, I have 3 amazing boys that I'm extremely proud of, and I couldn't be more prouder as a dad to my 3 boys. They're doing so well, they're growing so well, and I'm very blessed. Don't get me wrong, I'm very blessed. But also, you still can't help thinking about what could have been. They're having their little brother running around chasing them, because you think of all 3 of my boys. As they got older, the younger one chases the older one because he wants to be like them, or they want to play with him. They're in their room, messing their room. Just all the little tiny little bits that just plays on your mind constantly. And it just constantly plays on my mind, and I'm constantly like, oh, what could have been? What could he be doing now? You just sit there, and I could just be sitting there doing the tiniest little things. And then I'm like, oh, So I guess it's something I'm never going to get over. But as in time goes by, and I'm constantly working on myself, being better and understanding a lot more, I will get there. And anyone else who's been in this situation, I would say get some counseling. Really, really think about it and get some counseling, because it really helps. It's an amazing thing to do. You get to say and understand things if you have the right counselor. And I'm really fortunate. I have an amazing counselor called Helen. At the end of the video today, we will put her website and her information there. And if anybody wants to send her a message, she's happy for anyone to want to do that. But it's just amazing just talking to someone else, opening up, and the right questions being asked make you think about stuff and evaluate stuff completely differently. Like, I never looked at stuff in a certain way. I never thought about stuff in a certain way, more regarding my wife. I just kind of carried on and thought things that I was doing was right, but obviously not. So now I'm taking a step back and I'm looking at it, and every day I'm evaluating everything and go, I could have done this better. Actually, I could have done that better. Ooh, I didn't do that. But the things that I did, I thought were right. But now I'm evaluating everything. And it's not just of that side with the grief. It starts to make you evaluate every single part of your life and become grateful for what you have at this time, because you just got to hold on to that and cherish it and love the people around you. That's starting with your kids, your wife, your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends. You have to cherish them, because things can be taken away so easily, and when they're gone, you can't get them back. And it's how I feel. It's just like we took for granted that we had I've got 3 boys, and it was just automatic that we were going to have, for me and my wife, our 3rd, and for me, my 4th. It was just the motions. You go through that motion and think, well, this is how it works. But actually, it doesn't always work that way. Things happen. And I think that was the part that kind of threw me, and the questions I started asking a lot of questions in my head. Well, why us? I've got 3 healthy boys. Why? And you start to question yourself. Did you do stuff wrong? And you question God. Why? But then what I've learned in the last couple of weeks is, and I know this myself, it's things happen for a reason. So you just have to go with it. And just be happy with the blessings and everything else that you got. And just cherish and respect everything else that you got. And the kids that you've got, and just hold them tight, look after them, cherish them, love them like you've never loved anything else. And just love your family, your wife, your kids, your mum, your dad, brother, sister. Just love them and enjoy them. Because the times that we have is very precious. And sometimes we lose sight of that. And the important things. Because life is so busy. We're just running around doing this and that. And it's just the last couple of weeks with my counselling is actually opened my eyes a lot and taught me a lot. So yeah, but again, it's a short video today, just to show you guys, or to let you know how I'm getting on, and thank you for your time. Like I said, I'll put the lady, my counsellor's details at the bottom of the page today. Helen, absolutely fantastic lady. She just taps into all the right mindset that you need to have, and things that you didn't even think about. She taps into it by just asking you certain questions. I mean, I've had counsellors before that were just like, I walked away thinking, what a waste of my £70. But this, I have to say, she's absolutely amazing. She is just taking me to a whole new level. And I just enjoy every week going to see her at the moment, because I know there's something else I'm going to unlock. There's something else about the grief that I didn't think about that she's going to unlock out of me. And I'm going to see it in a different way. And I'm so grateful for that. So I keep going. And that's probably, I say to people, that's the best investment you're going to make for yourself. It's either having counseling or therapy to make yourself better. Even if it's once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks, it's worth spending that money on it, because it makes you become a better person. But anyway, thank you very much, guys. And again, thank you for all your response and all the stuff that you sent to me, text messages, people that knew me, emails and everything else. I was so grateful. And, you know, for my first video, I thought after a week, I'd probably only have like 20 views, but I've had over 120 or more views just from putting it out there. My friends just seeing it, and colleagues and stuff, and people just sharing it. And I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. For my heart, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. And let's keep this going. And hopefully every Monday morning, I'll be dropping a new one. So it's not just about grief, like I said, it's about relationship, life, kids and everything else. But we all go together on this journey that I'm on.